Hello guys, how are we all doing? Welcome back to Championship predictions for the penultimate weekend. There's only 2 weeks of the Championship season to go and we've got some big predictions for you. Before we get into this, please do make sure to hit that like button. We'll go for 500 likes. We're going for a big round target this time, Sophie. 500 likes. Hit that thumbs up button. Do subscribe if you haven't already to really help us get to 28,000 subscribers. And I'm joined by Sophie. How you doing?
I'm feeling really positive going into this weekend. How are you?
I tell you what, massive games. I mean, the playoffs and the relegation all up for grabs. I mean, must say, before we get into it, a massive congratulations to Sheffield United, who have got over the line in their win over West Bromwich Albion on the Wednesday night. They've been brilliant this season and they deserve it. They'll be joining Burnley, but who's going to be joining them through the playoffs? Let's get into the predictions, starting with Blackpool versus Millwall on the Friday night. This is massive, Sophie. It's got to be a win for both, hasn't it? I mean, Blackpool are 23rd. Millwall are now outside the playoffs. Do you know what? I don't think a draw is good for either. No. If either side draws it, they need quite a few other results to go their way, and they also need to win on the final day to have any chance of accomplishing what they want this season. So both sides need to go for this. A loss mathematically relegates Blackpool. As I say, they need to go for the win, and I think they can. I backed Wigan to beat Millwall because Millwall are capitulating, and it worked. I had a few Millwall fans in the comments saying, why are you doing that? And they beat them. I think Blackpool could beat them. Honestly, I've got so much respect for Millwall, and I did predict them to finish 6th from the start of the season, as I keep saying, but they're falling away and they're ruining my prediction. And as much as it'd be good to see them in there, I think Blackpool are going to be that little bit more hungry and they're going to grind out the win and take it to the final day. Blackpool to win, 2-1.
See, I can see this game going either way, it being completely open because both teams are going at it, or it being quite cagey because both teams kind of need the win. I'm going to agree with you, and I'm going to back the home side, and I want a Blackpool win.
Wow.
Obviously, as a Coventry it's going to come down to who wants it more on the day. And I mean, let's be honest, both teams going into this aren't in amazing form, so you can't really go off form either. However, I'm going to back the Tangerines 1-0.
1-0. I mean, Blackpool did get a good win in their last game at St Andrews, so who knows? Back-to-back wins and they might be on their way out of that bottom 3. We'll see. We'll move on to the next game. We're going to start getting some dead rubbers now because we're at that point of the season where a lot of teams don't have much to play for, and it's Bristol City versus Burnley. I've got to say, Burnley coronated at Blackburn Rovers. What a way to do it at their rivals, and what a goal from Benson. Unbelievable strike. They're back to winning ways. Can they take down a Bristol City side that picked up a win against Rotherham last time? I think so. I think Burnley are going to look to try and keep going towards that 100 points target this season, and Bristol City I think could give them a game. I'm going to give them a goal, but I'm going to say Burnley win on this occasion. 2-1 to Burnley.
Okay, I'm actually going to back a draw here. I think Burnley, they don't need to rest players for anything, but I don't see them going all out attack, to be honest. And I feel like Bristol City, again, they don't really have anything to fight for, and that's why I see a draw playing out. 1-1.
1-1. Right, Sophie, I am nervous. I am nervous. The CBS, Coventry City take on Birmingham City. Now, as well as it being a bit of a derby and a sellout, a full house, it's massive for Coventry because the results have been going our way. We're up to 5th. If we win this, Soph, we're nearly there. I mean, with a few other results, we could maybe be virtually there going to Middlesbrough. And we need to win this one. If we don't win this one, then we need to win at Borough, and that's very tricky.
Hard,
The thing is with this, although Coventry are 5th, Birmingham are down in like 17th, it's not straightforward. Birmingham City are solid. I've actually enjoyed them this season, and they always give Coventry a good game. They always
turn up.
They always take a draw off us. It was 0-0 earlier in the season at St Andrews, and I wouldn't be surprised if it went the same way. It really wouldn't surprise me if Birmingham City come and ruin the party for Coventry, because they are a solid team, and I think it's going to be Coventry who are attacking versus Birmingham who are defensive, and we can struggle against these sort of setups. John Eustace is a former Coventry City player. He's obviously the Birmingham manager. Let's hope he's working on our side and puts out a rubbish team or something. In all seriousness, though, I'm going to go for Coventry to edge this. I feel nervous saying it, but I'll say Coventry City 2, Birmingham City 1.
Yeah, I'm actually going to agree with that scoreline. I'm saying 2-1 to Cov again, and I wouldn't be surprised if Blues come and cause a bit of an upset. I think that'd be absolutely typical. Especially in front of a sellout crowd. However, I feel like I've got to continue that positivity. The results are going our way. It's written in the stars at this point. So City are going to win 2-1.
2-1. Yeah, you're back in the same prediction as me. Okay, next up we'll move on to Hull City taking on Swansea City. Both sides come into this with decent results. I mean, Swansea City in particular, they're in great form. And if they win this, they could take it to the final day. And who'd have thought that? They were like 15 points off the playoffs about 6 weeks ago. So it's incredible to see Swansea in this position. And it would be a great story if they win this game and do take it to the final day, where they'll play West Brom on the final day. But I've got to say, Hull City have been very good at times this season. And I think they could be a team that might actually stop Swansea City's good run here. I won't say a win, but I think two good teams here, so I'll go for an entertaining Desmond. 2-2.
Okay. Yeah, I can see, actually, I could see a draw playing out. However, I'm not going to back a draw. I do think that Hull are going to give Swansea a really good game, and as you say, they could be one of the only teams. They've been upsetting. They've been causing upsets everywhere.
They're ruining everyone's season.
Yeah, they are. So they could ruin Swansea's. However, I don't see it happening. I'm going to have to back the Swans, and I'm going to say 2-1. 2-1.
Okay. This is massive, Sophie. Down to the bottom where Reading take on Wigan Athletic, 22nd versus 24th. If Wigan don't win, they are relegated, and they also still need a few results to go their way. But they're still in this after that win against Millwall. We saw Reading play Coventry, Sophie, and I don't think they were totally hopeless.
No, I don't think so.
But it was frustrating for them because they didn't get anything, and all the other sides down the bottom seemed to pick up something. So Reading need to win this one. I can't believe Reading's last two games are against Wigan and Huddersfield. This is going to be crazy down the bottom. Both sides have got to go for a win. If Reading win, they could get out of the bottom three. If Wigan win, they still have a chance of surviving going into the final day. I'm going to go Reading 0, Wigan Athletic 1. Wigan are taking it to the final day.
Bloody hell. Do you know what? I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to say Reading 1-0. At times against Cov, I felt like they're not a bad team. And at the end, when you see the players go down and you almost feel like they've not given up, but they look like they're just completely downbeaten, and you feel sorry for them. So I'm hoping they can get a result here. And do you know what? I'm going to back them too. So, as I say, 1-0 to the Royals.
1-0 to the Royals. Wow, okay. Next up, we move on to Bramall Lane, where we've got the newly promoted Sheffield United taking on Preston North End. Sheffield United still got 3 games to go. They've got this game, they've got a rearranged game against Huddersfield, and they also play on the final day as well. Preston North End are the team with more to play for in this game now, because Sheffield United are promoted. Preston North End are obviously still battling for the playoffs, but I think Preston need to win their final 2 games, and can you see them winning here? It could be an interesting one where maybe because Sheffield United are already promoted, Preston might be able to come and cause a little bit of an upset now that the party's over. I don't know. I think the party is still going to be going on. I think Sheffield United win this game 3-1.
Oh wow, okay, I'm literally going the complete opposite. I'm saying 0-0. I don't know why. I feel like now that Sheffield United are promoted, again, I don't feel like they're going to put out the best squad that they can, or even if they do, I don't feel like they're going to have that same fire in their belly now they've already got it over the line. Preston need to have it, and I feel like they're going to be frustrated, and I just see a 0-0 playing out.
0-0, okay, fair enough. Next up, we'll move on to Stoke City. Stoke, who were this team in brilliant form, now not so much, and their season's kind of come to an end. So they haven't got much to play for. They take on Queen's Park Rangers, who got a fantastic win at Burnley. I did not see that coming. That's probably the result of the weekend in the last Championship set of games. Do you know what? I think QPR only need a draw to realistically get over the line. If they win this game, they're mathematically over the line. We'll go for that then. Gareth Ainsworth seems to have just done enough in the nick of time. I'll go for QPR to stay up. We'll see you in the Championship next year. 2-0 to the R's.
Yeah, I almost feel like after that performance against Burnley, I can't not back QPR. I feel like Stoke's season, as you say, is done. So who's really fighting for more here? It's QPR. Is that going to show in the game? I'm going to say yes, and I feel like it's going to be quite a scrappy one. Not many goals, but 1-0 to the R's.
1-0 to the R's, wow, okay, big result that. We'll move on to the Stadium of Light, where we've got Sunderland, who are in the playoffs now, up to 6th place, as they take on Watford, who now no longer have a chance of making the playoffs. Really weird how it's worked out like this. If you'd have asked before the season started, you'd imagine Sunderland would be maybe mid-table and Watford would be in the playoffs. If Sunderland win this, they will probably be staying in the top 6 going into the final day, I believe. So, big opportunity here against a side that have not got a lot to play for. Do you know what? Is this the year Tony Mowbray's finally going to get a team into the playoffs?
Could be.
Could be. They've got a big game on the final day against Preston North End. That'd be a big shootout.
Yeah.
Let's go for Sunderland to cross the line, or virtually cross the line, with a good win here. 3-1 Sunderland.
Yeah, I feel like there could be quite a few goals in this as well, and a bit of an end-to-end kind of game. As you say, Watford, they're mathematically out of the playoff race now, which is a shame for them, but I did see that happening, with Wilder coming in. I did call that, and I got a little bit of stick for that, so just saying. Sunderland as well, they're currently sitting 6th. That is great for a newly promoted team, and can they stay in the playoffs by the end of the season? Who knows? But I'm going to back them to win. 3-2.
3-2, wow, okay, lots of goals as well.
Yeah.
We'll move on to the Hawthorns, where we've got two sides with an outside chance of making the playoffs. West Bromwich Albion and Norwich City. Both sides need to win. A draw does neither any good. Norwich come into this in pretty poor form, I must say. They're bottom of the form table for the last 6 games in the Championship, which is really bad. And you'd think this team should have been battling for at least the top 6, but they're kind of... Seems like their season's over. West Bromwich Albion come into this on back-to-back defeats to Sunderland and Sheffield United. They need to win this one to keep any hopes alive. I think I'm going to go for West Brom, just because of how poor Norwich have been. I'll go for West Brom to keep their hopes alive. 1-0.
Yeah, what's really frustrating about Norwich is that they're the cause of their own downfall sometimes. Like, you watch them in a game and you just think, you're making so many mistakes, and you've just thrown this game away, even in the first half. So do I see them getting anything from this game? Do you know what? Maybe I could, but I'm not going to back it. I'm going to back a West Brom win. 1-0. 1-0
to the Baggies. Yeah, same as me. Just a couple games left. We'll move on to a massive relegation 6-pointer again as Cardiff City take on Huddersfield Town. Neil Warnock returning to Cardiff. Can he get 3 points against his former side? We are recording this just before Cardiff play Rotherham on the Thursday night, because there's a Championship game every day this week. I think Cardiff are going to probably be okay. I think Huddersfield need the points more, but I think Huddersfield are going to be okay this season as well.
I agree.
Their form's been good. I think because Cardiff are playing on Thursday, Huddersfield will be more rested. And I'm actually going to go for Huddersfield to come here and get 3 points, which should push them over the line. Cardiff 0, Huddersfield Town 1.
Okay, I'm actually going to be boring and say a draw for this one, and I think that will actually benefit both teams at this point. So 1-1.
Yeah, 1-1. Yeah, should be all right for both, I suppose. 2 games left. We'll move on to Monday's games, where we start with Rotherham United versus Middlesbrough. As I say, we're just about to see what the outcome is of Cardiff versus Rotherham. Also feel like Rotherham should be all right this season. They're up against Middlesbrough, who are now in a point where they're probably likely to finish 4th. They've not actually got much to play for now. I don't know. I feel like maybe a draw for this one, Soph. Middlesbrough, they've crossed the line in terms of they're in the playoffs, but they can't make the top 2. Rotherham ticking over, look like they're going to stay up. 1-1.
Do you know what it is for me? I feel like when you're in the playoffs, you need to keep that momentum going, so you're not really going to want to take your foot off the gas. And I feel like Borough are going to do that against Rotherham, So I feel like it could be a bit of a one-sided game. 3-0.
What, 3-0?
To Borough.
Wow, oh, really? Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, they've got it in them, haven't they?
They have, yeah.
The final game then, this is an interesting one. Blackburn Rovers, who have had countless opportunities but keep throwing them away. They take on Luton Town. It's been a difficult run-in for Blackburn. They've played Burnley, Preston, Coventry, and now Luton, and then Millwall on the final day. I don't think Blackburn are going to do enough here. They need to get 2 wins out of 2, and I'm hoping Luton Town can beat them here, because Blackburn are obviously chasing our team, Coventry, in the playoffs. Blackburn do actually play good football. It must be so frustrating for their fans, because they have opportunities to get in there, but they just don't get the results, and decisions go against them. I think Luton Town are going to win, and I hope they do as well. Do you know what? Let's go for a bit of a slaughter. Blackburn 0, Luton 3.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm going to say a bit of a tighter game. Again, as I said with Borough a couple of minutes ago, I feel like a playoff team needs to keep that momentum going. So Luton should want to win this fairly comfortably. Blackburn have got to be fighting here, because they're almost bottling the playoffs with their recent results. So they really do need a win here to keep their playoff hopes alive. And I don't see it happening. 1-0 to the Hatters. 1-0
to the Hatters. We're both going for a Luton Town win. There you go, guys. That wraps up our predictions. Do make sure to get your predictions down below. Let's aim for 500 likes. As I say, guys, hit that thumbs up button. Do subscribe. Get your predictions in. And thank you for joining me, Sophie.
Thank you.
We will see you all in the next one. Peace out.